Hi, I'm Luke and welcome to Film Club's final live webcast of the week. Unfortunately, we can't be joined by Lucy Brett from the British Board of Film Classification. So instead, we're going to show you what Film Club's been up to recently. But before we start, a big shout goes to you guys watching in Kingsmead School and St Paul's in Surrey. Okay, so now it's time for our first clip. So here is Film Club reporter Ella talking to Amanda Neville, the Chief Executive of the British Film Institute. She's very important. About the new period blockbuster Anna Karenina. But I'm going to call her Anna K. It's a bit easier.
So we're wondering if you could recommend any films you think we should watch.
Well, last night, I have to tell you, I saw the new Wright film, Anna Karenina. I think it's out at the end of this week. It's absolutely fabulous. It's a very, very clever new staging of the film. It's got a bit of the sort of Baz Luhrmann in it insofar as it's staged in an extraordinary way, but it still manages to really situate you within the emotions and all the themes that were found in Anna Karenina. The choreography is just to die for, and the way in which the director has gone about staging the big ball scene is probably... I was sitting there watching it, and you know when you're watching a film and every cell in your body lines up in the same way and your hair stands up, and you sit there and you think, I'm watching, I think, one of the great moments of cinema. So I would say to Film Club, you know, to get yourself ready for the BFI London Film Festival, get out there, buy a ticket, and go and see Anna Karenina. What might be clever would be to see if in your film club you could get one of the earlier Anna Kareninas to see, and then you'd be able to compare the two stagings.
Well, she certainly enjoyed Anna K. And if you think you'd like to see the original 1948 version, then have a look at our website. Now, Film Club reporter Caroline had a very glamorous task to attend the world premiere in London's Leicester Square of the new Keira Knightley film, Anna K. Let's see how she got on.
I was 18 when I got married. But it was not love. Your husband is a saint, and we must all cherish him for Russia's sake.
Romantic love will be the last illusion of the old order.
Here reporting for Film Club at the premiere of Anna Karenina. Anna Karenina was originally a novel by Russian writer Leo Tolstoy and has had numerous adaptations over the years, but this year Keira Knightley takes the lead role in Joe Wright's new version of events. So let's go see who we can talk to. The film is based on Tolstoy's novel, so why do you think today's audiences should go and see Anna Karenina?
I think, like with every classic, they are still here because of the fact that it's stories and characters that everyone can relate to. So
it's set in this kind of strange fantasy land of this theatre, so it's an incredibly stylised version of this, which I think is really exciting because we've certainly never seen anything like it before. I think the idea was that Russian society in the kind of 18th, 19th century, they couldn't even speak Russian. They spoke French or Italian. They lived in French-style houses, they dressed in French clothing, they behaved in a French way, you know, so this idea that they were constantly playing a game was something that Joe Wright, the director, sort of took and ran with and created this strange fantasy world.
The film is based on Tolstoy's novel, and why do you think today's audiences should go and see Anna Karenina?
Because people have a habit of falling in love with someone they shouldn't.
In the film, there's quite a lot of dancing, and I read that you went to the Royal Swedish Ballet School. So were you able to help out the other actors with their dance skills?
Well, I don't know if I helped them, but the fun thing was that Joe allowed me to, actually before we started our rehearsal period, I went with him and Lobby, the choreographer, to Antwerp I met a few of the dancers who are in the film, so we kind of had a workshop for a week, and I was in the process of making some of the choreography in the film from the beginning, and that was amazing.
And finally, at Film Club, we're asking everyone what their favourite childhood film is. You yourself was in Peter Pan, and that's one of my all-time favourites.
What good taste you have.
Yes.
Film. I'm afraid I've made my children watch The Sound of Music an awful lot. It's not cool, but it's effective. I just love it. There was a film I've never actually, maybe you can find out, Film Club, here's a question for you. It was a film about pit ponies, and the pit ponies all died at the end, so it's very sad. I'm crying a bit now, actually, just remembering. Yeah, so a film, it would have been in the mid-70s, about pit ponies, but I don't know what it was called.
Well, we'll try and find that too, and we'll get back for you. Thank you very much. Well, it's been a crazy, hectic day here at the Anna Karenina premiere. I've spoken to some fantastic people. I really hope you get the chance to see the film. It is absolutely mind-blowing. And if you want to see the film, there'll be some details on the Film Club website. That's all from me. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.
Well, that definitely looks like an Oscar contender to me. Now for something different. If you saw the Olympic opening ceremony, you may have seen the Queen parachuting out of an aeroplane. Well, here's an industry secret. It wasn't her. It was in fact Stuntman Gary Connery, who recently hosted a workshop with some of our film clubbers. So let's have a look.
Today we have Gary Connery, the stuntman.
My name's Gary Connery. I've worked in the TV and film industry for about 17 years. I came to be in the stunt industry as a result really of my background of what I used to do as a kid, and it's really an extension of what I used to do as a kid that brings me to where I am today. So. From school, I did work experience at a dry ski slope and became a trainee ski instructor at the dry ski slope until I then went away and did ski racing for 5 years.
What made you want to be a stuntman?
I wasn't great in school. I loved the sport. The academic side of things I actually wasn't very good at. I enjoy the sports side, so it's really an extension of the sports and stuff that I did as a kid.
Guideline 17.5, never question a senior agent in the field.
No! So that got intercut then with a shot of me falling away from a helicopter. So you then had a long shot. We lost the guy just going off the edge. Then there was a long shot of me falling away from a helicopter to a shot of Rowan Atkinson suspended in a harness with a wind machine against him. So it made it look like then he was in this sort of position, flying through the air. Again, cut to this, which again was from a helicopter, of the canopy snapping open. So anything that you see where there's a long fall or under canopy generally was me. When you've got a shot of tight on Rowan Atkinson under canopy, that was done in a studio where he was suspended from a crane.
Were you scared when you jumped out of the helicopter?
Good question. I believe that fear, in answer to your question, is yes, all right? But I'll elaborate on that. I truly believe that having some fear or paranoia is good because that keeps you safe and it keeps you thinking about what you need to be thinking about.
Did you injure yourself any time in that film?
No, I didn't. But I have injured myself doing other stuff, but generally it's when I'm not at work. When your guard's down and you're not really thinking about what you're doing, that's generally when one hurts oneself. But because of us trying to achieve specific things, we work hard on maintaining safety and achieving things in a safe way. When you're not paying attention to what you're doing, or you're riding your bike just down a track, you know the score, I'm sure you've got a bike, you fall off sometimes.
I would like you to show us something that looks quite painful, but actually isn't.
Can you see that? I wouldn't advise it, but it's called sugar glass. It's not sugar, it's some sort of resin, but it's non-toxic. All right? You can get it in your eyes, because it is dust, it's small pieces. So I will be closing my eyes when Mairead stumps me with it. As I say, this one you can get away with doing that, because it feels quite strong. It's a good one, so I don't know where you got it from, but well done. Generally, what we do is hold them like that and hit. So all you've got to do, however you like, hold it like that, smack me on the head with it.
Okay.
It's entirely up to you, just hit me with it. Now, if I do that there, and there's no reaction from Nick, nothing really happens. It's like, oh, what are you doing? What are you playing at? Whereas if Nick reacts and he bends over, timed with what I do, and I actually put more energy into it and spin him round this way, ready? It kind of looks like we've hit him. I'm going to be the one that's throwing myself against the wall. What Nick needs to do is make it look like it's him. Okay, so he's actually got to follow my movement. So that's the dance part. Kind of like if I grab hold of Nick here, I can start his movement off, but he's doing the walk around there. I'm not really doing it. I've stayed on. That's very good. Grab hold of me. Right, so what you're going to do is you're going to give me the initial throw, and you're going to follow through like that and shove me as hard as you can. All right, ready?
Yeah.
Go. All right, so fantastic for Nick.
Wow, lucky that bottle was sugar glass. Don't try that at home. So time for our final report of the day. The BFI London Film Festival is taking place next month. It's our chance to see the latest films being released. Film Club reporters Ella and Margaret attended the BFI London Film Festival press launch. So let's have a look.
Hi, I'm Margaret.
And I'm Ella.
And we're here at Leicester Square to see the launch of the London Film Festival.
We're really looking forward to seeing what films are going to be programmed and who's going to be there. We're going to talk to some people after and hopefully be a really interesting day. This is the 56th BFI London Film Festival. What makes it different from the rest?
Well, it's a very different shape this year. We've got a new overall artistic director of the festival, and what she's done is really injected, I think, a new personality into the way in which the films are presented.
Hi, I'm Margaret. I'm from Filmclub. Can I just say congratulations, you're the new creative director of the London Film Festival. How do you anticipate movies that the audiences will be interested in?
Well, I think the first thing is, do they move you? And if they move you, you can anticipate that they'll, that others will have maybe not the same response, but that, there'll be a way to gear into the film. And I think from my perspective, when you're actually programming, you're looking for a very broad range of experiences to offer an audience, because even though we say audience as if it's one thing, we know that there are many people with many different tastes and interests. And so it's very important to have something for everyone in the festival.
I think the big thing really for audiences coming to the festival is that the films are grouped around themes. So for example, you've got a love theme. So and you've got a thrill theme. So so if you were to buy into that theme, be able to watch films that were going to thrill you in some sort of way. There's also a cult theme and a sonic theme, and the most gorgeous family theme with wonderful animations from France and from Japan.
What skills do you need in your job?
You have to you have to have a good eye. You have to, know what you're looking for. You have to have a good sense of what other people might like to see. You have to be good at communicating. I think that's really important because you're doing all sorts of negotiations. You're negotiating with studios, you're negotiating with sales agents and distributors, you're negotiating with producers, you have filmmakers whose films might be screened for the very first time and feel very sensitive about that, right through to audience members who are going to be excited about what you show, or they might want to challenge your selection, and they might want to really understand why you've shown something. So there's a lot of different elements to the festival that you need to be able to talk about and communicate.
So what was the submission process like to get your film in? Did you have certain criteria you had to meet, or did you just make your film, send it in and hope for the best?
It really was making the film, sending it in and hoping for the best. Really, it's a dream come true for the film, for a London film to be shown at London Film Festival for its UK premiere.
The programmer knows my work anyway, and then we invited him along to a screening. So he watched it when it was at a rough cut stage, so unfinished. And then he decided from there. I think it's quite difficult to send stuff in cold, but I mean, they have a selection process. You can just send stuff in and then they can watch it and you might get lucky, but it's good to have a relationship, or at least to kind of find out who may be watching it and invite them to a screening or something, just so you kind of get their attention.
So was it hard to keep it a secret that your film was in the London Film Festival?
Yeah, I've been itching to tell people all week, and the producer wouldn't let me even tell my mum. So it's the first I was just going to go ring her now.
That was really tough because we actually finished the film 10 months ago. So we knew a little while ago that we were going to be in London Film Festival, and everybody kept saying, when are we going to see it in the UK? And I kept on having to say, oh, I don't know, I'm not sure.
Been impossible. I've been just avoiding Facebook and all the other mediums that would give it away. But it has been difficult, and we have stuck by the. And I can go home now, and I can tell people at last.
So how does it feel to be here?
It feels amazing. It feels really great. I mean, there's a real buzz. Everyone's here. It's I watched a bunch of clips from films that are showing at the festival, and it feels really good.
It's really exciting because the film took 5 years to make, and everybody who supported the film over those 5 years, for them to be able to kind of come to Leicester Square to watch the film on the big screen is just the best thing ever.
So far, how does London Film Festival compare to other film festivals in other cities?
Because I make documentaries, the festivals I usually go to are specifically for documentaries, so being a festival has fiction as well, it's a slightly different ballgame. It's bigger, and there's more kind of celebrity status going on, all that kind of thing, which at documentary festivals is really low key usually. For people that know documentaries, and you get a lot of public there, but I think fiction festivals is a different ballgame really.
Well, for me, I've been to quite a lot now, and I feel like the London Film Festival, what's unique about it is that it's really about the audiences. It's really about showing the films to the public, rather than just being about the competition or about the buzz or about the the hype online or on TV. So it really feels like what's great is you have an opportunity as an audience to actually see the films.
We run film clubs in our schools, and Film Club helps us access films more. So what films would you recommend to show in schools, or would be good to educate our film knowledge?
Well, that's a difficult question. I won't name individual films, but I do think one of the most important things at the moment is for people to see films, historical films, because the film industry is moving very quickly into a digital age, and it's important that we don't lose or forget how filmmaking was, because there was a lot of craft in filmmaking which has been lost in the process of equipment changing. So I recommend people look at some of the films here, like Lawrence of Arabia. I just saw the clip for that, digitally restored, unbelievably beautiful, possibly almost impossible to recreate that look digitally. So before those things disappear, we should all be paying attention.
Hi, we've just finished here at the Leicester Square Odeon in London after seeing the press release of the London Film Festival. We've talked to film directors, actors and people involved with BFI who've been helping organise the festival.
We also spoke to the creative director of the London Film Festival, and she gave us some really good advice on how to programme film clubs in our school. Thank you.
Bye.
Look out next month for Film Club at the BFI London Film Festival, where we'll be presenting live webcasts and reports from the red carpet. Keep up to date with what's coming up on Film Club's website. Well, I'm afraid that's all we've got time for today, so remember to order your films from the Film Club website and tune in to Film Club's broadcast from the London Film Festival. See you soon. Bye.